What up going, everybody? Here on podomat.com/NGWS, I believe. YouTube.com/N87763, YouTube.com Fighting News 1, and YouTube.com/Established Sports. Of course, on that Generation Wrestling site, Weebly.com, AllAmericanWrestling.weebly.com, and AllAccessWrestling.weebly.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, in the description for those links. We're going to be talking about WWE Monday Night Raw review show. We did a results show yesterday. Really didn't get into it much. But today we're going to get into it, y'all. Hopefully this podcast works. I know the video will work. You can hear my voice. Anyway, we're going to get into it, y'all. And we're going to run down Monday Night Raw. And a lot of people are going to be bashing this show. Next week, we will have a 3-hour WWE Monday Night Raw that basically has Vince McMahon coming back to Raw. 8 months since he's been majority ruled out from the WWE board. I need to put the galleries up for this show. I haven't done that yet. You can check that out. Next Generation Wrestling site at .weebly.com/WWE Raw Live Pictures. You can do that. You can read the results at WWE.com, or actually, Next Generation Wrestling site at Weebly.com/WWE Monday Night Raw results. Anyway, kicks off with Michael Cole and John Cena. Basically, they go back and forth talking about the Big Show, No Way Out pay-per-view, and what led up to the Big Show turning on WWE Universe and John Cena. This led out to John Laurinaitis, Big Johnny. He comes out there and basically says, John Cena, you're going to have a match. You can pick your opponent. Cena says, great. I take the Big Show. Oh, well, I'm sorry, John Cena. Big Show's not here tonight. All right. Got a good choice. Michael Cole. Actually, he goes John Laurinaitis before Michael Cole. John Laurinaitis says that he is... he can't because he's retired. Okay, well, here comes Michael Cole. So the main event is going to be Michael Cole versus John Cena. They led this whole show up to Michael Cole versus John Cena. We all know it's going to be a squash. We all know John Cena is going to win it. Well, throughout the night, you saw basically every single match and every single segment of Michael Cole pleading with John Laurinaitis or the WWE Universe for him not to have this match with John Cena. The first match to kick off tonight was Sheamus defeating Dolph Ziggler, and was actually a pretty good match. Sheamus had the majority of the offense, and Dolph Ziggler, he's the man. Why does Dolph Ziggler keeps getting beat week after week? I don't know. He kind of got away from the Jack Swagger situation. He lost to Sheamus on SmackDown. He lost to Sheamus on Raw. When are they going to put him in a singles push and give him his rightful owner? I think it's going to be soon, just because WWE's roster is so thin that they have nobody. They lost Chris Jericho to suspension. He has 18 days left. They lost Randy Orton for 3 months because of the wellness policy. Who do you really have? If you and they had the worst rating. They had the lowest rating of 2012 for SmackDown last Friday night. They had the lowest rating in Raw's in a long time. So of course they're going to bring back Vinnie Mac. Sin Cara makes his Raw debut, or return, I guess you'd say, defeating Hunico. Now in the live play-by-play coverage, I put this in there. Didn't mean to make it racial, and I really don't. You could have Sin Cara defeating Hunico, which they did. But I meant you could have Sin Cara versus Hunico, and the fact of Hunico was the Sin Cara pretender when they had Sin Cara versus Sin Cara. Here comes where I don't mean to be racial. You have Sin Cara from Mexico, and then you have the Hunico and the other guy. They're gangsters or whatever. They're from Mexico. You could have a feud, and I didn't put this in the play-by-play, but I'm just saying, in the play-by-play, I put they could have a feud because they're from Mexico and they're Mexicans. Well, here's what I meant. You could have these guys go at it, and Hunico says, this is how Mexico is, and Sin Cara, this is how Mexico is. And you could actually have Sin Cara talk, and you could have Hunico, who's, of course, a heel, and you could have Sin Cara, who, of course, is a babyface. And Sin Cara he's defending Mexico's pride. He's defending their reputation, and he's talking about how Mexico is, and then Hunico is bashing Mexico. Just a thought, because these guys need storylines. Ryback defeats 2 local guys. Oh, and one more thing. Sin Cara did not have a botch, so everybody get off of him. Ryback defeated 2 local guys. One was from Ring of Honor. We put out an article a couple weeks ago, actually last week. Ryback's going to get a push. Well, who's he going to feud with? Who knows? Vinnie Mac wants Ryback to be a Goldberg type. You hear it every single time he steps into a WWE ring. Goldberg chants. He is undefeated. He looks like him just without the singlet, which is a wrestling attire if you did not know. So what are they going to do with Ryback? Who are they going to feud with? Well, there's a couple guys they could feud with. He could feud with Ezekiel Jackson. Kurt Hawkins and Tyler Ratch are kind of tied up in tag team form. You know, and another thing, it almost looks like WB is trying to build up the tag team division, which they should, and hopefully they will. Who knows if they really will? But you know, we'll see. Ryback, who knows who he's going to get it with? Kane defeats CM Punk, just like he did on SmackDown, or did he? Or was that a disqualification or a no contest? Let's check it out. Next Generation Wrestling site, Weeb.com, WB SmackDown spoilers. Did I put WB.com again? Damn, I keep plugging them. Anyway, Next Generation Wrestling site, Weeb.com/WB SmackDown spoilers. We'll have spoilers for tonight's show. No, CM Punk versus Kane went to a disqualification after Daniel Bryan interfered on SmackDown. So anyway, Kane got the clean finish on this one. Let's go back to the results. Next Generation Wrestling site, Weeb.com/WB Monday Night Raw results. Kane defeats CM Punk. Daniel Bryan got involved a little bit, cost him the match. AJ got in there. They did a little temptation of AJ and Kane. That was a little weird, but Kane has a history with girls, you know. AJ, Tori, Lita, and God, the Katie Vick thing. Most of y'all are probably too young to learn about that. That was god awful. But anyway, you know they gotta build up the feud of Kane versus CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship at 2 weeks away from No Way Out pay-per-view. Did they do that? Yeah, I think they did. If they had Kane beat him, so he's a qualified challenger, I guess the best way you can put this. R-Truth and Kofi Kingston comes out there, a little tape on the ribs, a little tape on the shoulder. They didn't sell a damn thing last night. Pardon my French fry language. I didn't sell a damn thing. You guys, and they even had Brodus Clay out there, and they put out an article on WWE.com saying that R-Truth, Kofi Kingston, and Brodus Clay injured. Brodus Clay had a concussion. R-Truth had a shoulder injury, and Kofi Kingston had a couple bruised or broken ribs, whatever lame excuse injury thing. And basically, every superstar's injured because WWE.com puts an article out. And I'm not bashing WB by doing that. It's okay. It's their company. They can do what they want. I'm just an analyst. I used to be an analyst. I'm more of a writer and an editor now for my website. You want to work for the site, shoot me an email at ngs2010@yahoo.com or the application at ngs2000 or nextgenerationwrestling.com/work for the site. Anyway. They defeated Tyler Ratz and Kurt Hawkins. Pretty good back and forth tag team division. I hope they build up the tag team division. SmackDown's more of a tag team division, more of a wrestling show, giving the under-talents or the mid-carders more of a chance because they only have the top few guys, which I kind of like that. They should be 2 different shows, but I do not like SmackDown stars on Raw, but it is a super show. Honestly, I wish they would go back to the old days of 2005, 2004, to 2002, with the brain extension, and Raw had their own pay-per-views, SmackDown had their own pay-per-views. Gives a little bit more talent, more creation, and more airtime. But anyway, they can't do that. John Cena defeated Tenzai, and basically before the Michael Cole match, John Laurinaitis came out there and he said, hey, if you can beat Tenzai, you can face Michael Cole. John Cena's like, okay, well, I guess I don't have a choice. Him and Tenzai actually had a pretty good match, and I actually kind of enjoyed that beatdown of John Cena. Come back with the 5 moves of doom. and beat Tenzai with the attitude adjustment. John Cena defeated and humiliated Michael Cole, put barbecue sauce on him, stripped him down. The Sheamus versus Dolph Ziggler, good match. Sin Cara versus Hunico, decent. Ryback, you expect it. Kane versus Punk, good. Tag match was actually pretty decent. John Cena versus Tenzai was good. This is where WWE is going to get bashed. Ultimately, it wasn't a horrible show like a lot of people will. You got to expect this. When you turn on Raw at 8 Central Time or 9 Eastern Time, you remember that. When you turn it off at 11:05 Eastern Time or 10:05 Central Time, that's the last Impact that's on your mind. You want a good main event. You want a good final segment. This is why WWE gets bashed. I've listened to other radio shows. You got a radio show, shoot me an email at ngs2010@yahoo.com. But don't bash them completely. It was horrible. It was hard to sit through. But if you read the live reports, people loved it. It was more of a kiddie show. WWE's PG. Get over it, people. It's not the worst thing. You see TNA, and they were TV 14. They were doing everything in an attitude adjustment, but guess what? It wasn't the same. You want to love Attitude Era like I do? Okay, but you gotta adjust. You want to watch the product. You want to analyze the product. Don't come out and sound like a complete idiot and bash WB or TNA completely. There's always good stuff. There's always something you enjoy. There's hardly any time that there's a complete show that you just cannot stand. And if that's every single week, then the problem is with you. Anyway, John Cena defeats Michael Cole. Yeah, it was a comedy segment. They teased Tenzai knocking out John Cena with one of his finisher moves, but he kicked out. So, anyway, that's the show. I want to hear what y'all think. Shoot me an email at ngs2010@yahoo.com. Write a comment on the podcast. Shoot me a message on Facebook or Twitter. Spread the word, y'all. Well, I want to hear what y'all think. You want to write for the site. You want to send in news. You want to work for us. Shoot me an email at ngs2010@yahoo.com or write it on the comment. But we'll definitely we'll hook you up, y'all. I need help. I got 7 sites I'm running. Anyway, WWE Monday Night Raw, June 4th, 2012 review show. Thanks so much for listening on the podcast. Subscribe to that. Subscribe to the channels. Follow us on Facebook. Like us on Twitter. Or like us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here, y'all. Maybe we'll do more of these. Hopefully, we'll just see what the feedback is. The results show did pretty decent. UFC 146 video did very well. You want to send me some videos, you want me to do anything, shoot me an email at ngs2010@yahoo.com. I'm out of here, y'all. We got to put up some more sites. WWE SmackDowns tonight. We'll have live spoilers for that, for Superstars, NXT, and SmackDown. WWE Monday Night Raw, June 4th, 2012 review show. I'm out of here, y'all, and we will see you next time.